do this so infrequently anymore that they change the process every time. So that's the outside, just
The
blaming
outside.
at your face.
This is my new monitor.
Oh,
How's the picture look?
little washed out,
You think?
just a little bit.
What do I do about this? Fix it.
Uh, don't they have someone for that? They have
I don't know.
a
Maybe I
fix-it
need to take my
person.
glasses off so that I don't, so you can see my eyes. I
You
still feel
put
like I'm
sunglasses
squinting.
on. Yep.
Yeah. Um, did I tell you? I showed you I got a new monitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's obscenely large. Like, like borderline. There's no such thing as too big for a monitor, right? Like, there's no such thing as too much space. But sitting in front of a something that generates this much power is just an
Yeah.
odd feeling. It's like a
There's no
it's
way
like a
that's good for you.
no, there's no way it's good for me. That's correct.
So
Let's see if
where's
I
the
can fix
camera?
this. Camera's
Is
on
it
top of the monitor.
so okay, so the monitor's
That's better.
low. Yeah, there you go.
Well, it has to be, right? I got my chair all the way up. Maybe I need to show you this. I don't think that's gonna work. Um,
Yeah, but then so your eye level's kind of not in the middle of the monitor, it's at the top
it's at the
of
top,
the monitor. Yeah.
which I
I
actually think is good. That's where all the information is, at the top of the screen. It's where everything is that you
probably
need to see.
every all cream rises to the top. You gotta
Cream
that's
rises to
where
the top,
you
right on that top
that's
eighth of the screen.
if it's not on there, up there, I'm not interested.
Yeah. Why even read it?
Well, I have mine on a tripod in between, like in the middle of the screen, because I don't like having it at the top, and I like having the monitor be at eye level.
You have yours on a tripod next to the monitor.
It's actually in between the two. Yeah.
Well, see, that's not an option for me, is it, Rich?
Mm-mm.
First of all, I don't have the
Someone
desk
didn't want to
space.
go with two. Someone didn't want two monitors.
Well, it's Apple. That Apple wanted that for me.
I have an Apple. I have my laptop open and two monitors, and they're
You have
all
a
on.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
have a
did what
MacBook Air,
they didn't
which
allow
only
you to
supports
get a
one
Pro
monitor.
at
Yeah.
Anthropic.
Well, that's what I asked for. But I guess it doesn't matter now because I'm still only going to be using one monitor. I can't even imagine what like I would need to get a 360 desk if I wanted to add more screen space to my setup.
Just because it's the size of the monitor is too big.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm looking from left to right, like what am I? I'm going to go all the way over here? Can't do that.
So when did you tell Navon you were leaving?
Oh man, it was kind of a mess.
Or is it happening at 9 a.m.?
No, it's the cat's already out of the bag. So I went on vacation last week. We went to St. Kitts and Nevis, and the day before vacation, sorry, 2 days before vacation, so 3 days. This is Wednesday, and I'm going. My last day before vacation will be Friday. My boss was like, "Hey, man, you leaving?" And I said, "Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I am." The thing that made it complicated was that I had a big commission check due to me on the 31st. I think I told you about this. And I had to be in seat for it. At least that's what the comp plan said. So telling them before that would have been a leap of faith that they were just going to do the right thing by me.
Right.
And everybody that I talked to was like, no, fuck that. They're not going to do the right thing by you. They have no reason to do the right thing by you. But they did. They ended up doing the right thing. So, but even though I didn't come out with the news, I'm very glad it came this way because I came to learn, like everyone I talked to from that point forward and the upper leadership was like, well, I'm glad you're telling us now because if you had waited, we would have done everything in our power to make sure you didn't get it. And I'm like, I remember there were 2 days where it was like coming at me pretty hard and fast. And Allison just kept being like, what is wrong? Like, why is this so dramatic? People leave jobs. It happens.
Yeah, right.
They were mad at me for not giving them more than 2 weeks notice.
Yeah, of course.
Like a heads up. And then the messaging of it has all been very tightly controlled and very like so much hand wringing.
It's like you're ahead of state.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it feels
What
like.
really happened is.
Yeah. It put the spin on it.
So, okay, well.
So they know. So they knew before vacation. And thank God, because going on vacation with this hanging over my head of having to come back and tell them on April Fool's Day, not fun.
That would have been great.
That would have been great.
So did they actually let you stay on until today?
Well, they didn't let me stay on. They requested that I stay on. What I wanted was just for them to say, no need to come back from vacation. You're good. Right. And then I had a whole week to myself, which I pretty much have. I haven't done much this week.
Yeah, right. What are they going to do? Fire you?
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's not like I haven't been working. Like, I've been in the seat helping people get plugged into it's the right thing to do. I don't mind doing it.
Sure.
But, I would have much rather have done whatever I wanted with all of my time.
And you start on Monday?
Tuesday. The old Tuesday start. Yeah, I fly to San Francisco on Monday, then I start on Tuesday. And I was really surprised to see the onboarding schedule the first day. So this is a company that was trying everything in their power for me to start even 6 days sooner. Really, really pushing. And the entire first day agenda is like healthcare benefits, equity plan. And it starts on a Tuesday and it ends on Thursday.
So, so you've got
So like, how much am I going to be learning in this week that I'm flying across the country for?
I can see why they wanted you to start a week earlier.
Like, what?
Those health benefits explained.
It's ridiculous. What's going on with your situation? Is it worth talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm kind of, in a way, I'm glad I got paid. I told you that, I think.
I don't think you did, but that's good.
So, well, here's the story is I didn't get paid, right?
Yeah, I remember that part of it.
And I got that email and I walked down the halls and I said, did you get paid today? Yeah, I got paid today. Did you get paid today? Yeah, I got paid today. I was like, okay.
That's just me.
Let's find out. Let's find out why. And I didn't do it that day. He wasn't in the office, and I went in the next day. He was in the office, and I it was over the weekend. I had to stew about it, and I went in. And I was pissed, man. It was Monday. I said, I had a call in like 15 minutes, but I kind of went, not barged in, but I knocked and I said, hey, I got a call in 15 minutes, but I want to talk to you about this because we said we were going to talk about it on Monday, and it's after lunch, and you still haven't stop by in my office which is next door to yours. And I said, listen, man, I don't do this. What happened? I don't understand why I didn't get paid the same time everyone else did. He said, well, if I would have paid you on time, it would have been wrong because the system was wrong. And I don't think that's what you wanted. So we're taking the time to make sure it's right. I said, we've been talking about this. I've been begging for answers for months. Like there's email traffic. HR's on these emails. And I was like, this is
confident that you don't want us to mess this up, right?
Yeah. I was shocked that he went there. And I said, man, I don't know.
What's he going to say at that point? This is clearly
he could have said what he said next.
Say like, I was wrong and I'm doing everything I can to fix this.
So I pushed back, right? Kind of hard. And I said, I don't understand what the problem. I've been begging to get these goals and I've been begging to get this review done. And you've kept pushing it back. And then all of a sudden, now it just didn't happen. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I get that we want to make sure it's right, but there's been months where this discussion has been occurring, and we missed a deadline. He said, I just didn't get it done in time to meet that payroll, and and he's like, I apologize for that. I didn't say thank you or any of that. I just kind of like I pursed my lips, and I just went like,
Yeah, that's what you got to do. When it comes to this, when it comes to money, like there's no need to be nice or like
I told
the
him
fact that
I'm
they were
not.
posturing at all is so inappropriate and
I
unprofessional. It's
know.
crazy.
And I told him, man, I don't. This is not a hobby for me. I don't do this for
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
not
the
here.
only
Yeah.
reason I come here. And if now I'm like, I feel like something else is going on here. Is there something else happening? Like this is just so. I've never even considered working at a job where a bonus is involved, where it just doesn't get paid on time. That has
Yeah.
never happened to me, and I never even thought that was possible.
Right. Unless the
I've been a
company was
manager
having,
myself.
like, liquidity issues or
Yeah, right.
like,
Or am I getting
insolvency.
fired?
Right.
Or am I actually getting fired?
Yeah.
Or is there something personal here? Because everyone else got paid. I just asked everyone else who reports through you, and they all got paid.
Yeah.
And he said, no, nothing else is going on. I said, okay, I don't. It's like, what do you need? He's like, well, I still need this and that. I'm like, we're not even done yet. Like, it's like the person who's now working on this is out of the office all week. I wrote her this morning and got her out of office reply. So like, what now? And he said, well, can you send me this? I'm like, why didn't you fucking ask for this?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. Dude,
that was Monday.
I've been in this situation where I've been the one proactively chasing things down. I'm trying to remember what the reason was, but I think it was usually like manager incompetence of some form, right? Like, or not incompetent, lack of focus on me. They just didn't care.
Yeah. And that has happened since literally the first week I've been at this place. And this is now 16, 17 months later. The first week I was there, I was like, oh, by the way, one of the loans that I'm working on has the wrong interest rate booked in the system. We're overcharging our borrowers in our system. I'm manually calculating the interest. So we're not actually overcharging them, but we're booking more interest.
Wait, let me interrupt you. Are you
Yeah.
still employed at this place?
Yeah, I am.
How much longer is that going to be the case?
I don't. It's ASAP, man.
You're out there.
I'm looking for
You're
sure.
out in them streets.
But at this point, like I don't. This is kind of why I'm getting to like at this point I don't fucking care.
Yeah. So you're not doing the old 996, huh?
I don't know what that means.
9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. It's a term I learned recently.
No, I'm not doing that.
I was talking to someone about going to Anthropic, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. I heard they got a lot of 996ers over there." And I was like, "What? What's a 996er?" So yeah, feel free to use that if you want to sound like a complete d-bag to your friends.
Yeah, I'm just a born and bred 996er.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next day I went in. I didn't go in. I worked from home, and my boss wanted to have a call with me, and I said, okay, sure. He said I wanted to just go over the comp stuff. Great. He's like, here's what it is, and I apologize. It's like, cool. I'm taking. Well, before he did that, I was like, I'm taking off Wednesday through next Thursday.
Oh.
So that because the Friday after that is the one that's checked supposedly in my account. And I'm like, even if I was showing up to work, I'm in such a bad headspace now that you don't want me working on things.
Which is funny because like they do.
Yeah,
that's how out to lunch they are.
I'm sure
You know
they would have preferred that, but I actually told him that. I said, I am not motivated to do this. I'm just not. This is what I was doing all the first. I killed myself the first year. Well, that's the other thing. It's like at any other job, it probably would have been bigger. I mean, but it was, I don't know,
substantial. Okay, wait, hold on. This is how I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go through a series of reactions when I
actually told you what it was. I texted you what it was.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do this anyway.
Okay.
So I'm gonna react to getting a direct deposit. You tell me which reaction is right. Okay, this is number one. Ready? Okay. Here's number 2. Okay. And here's number 3. Which one of those was it?
It was none of those because I was just like, fucking about time. That was the fourth. That was
Okay,
number
you
4.
show me. You show me the reaction. Hold up. Grab your phone and you see the
Yeah.
direct deposit. Let me see it.
I was almost like, God damn. All right, I guess I'm going. I guess I'm going in today. I was it, man. If it didn't show up for any reason, I was just like, that was it for me. But it showed up. The comp, the percentage
I'm
of,
looking to see the amount now.
yeah, I think I did. I'm almost positive I did. And this was back in March 1st time frame.
Our text message conversation is pretty epic.
Yeah, no, stay focused. Yeah, I told
Yeah.
it to you.
No, dude, that's
March 2nd.
substantial. Come on.
Yeah, no, it is. But as a total percentage, it like kind of sucks, honestly. And for a sales role, like I don't know what
Yeah,
percentage
for a
of your
year.
comp
Okay, that's
is.
right. Yeah.
What percentage of your comp is sales commission based?
On an average year, 50. On a good year, 90.
Yeah, mine was 25.
Yeah. So there you go. Still, a quarter of your pay for the year is not something to sneeze at. But I get
It
your
was
point.
worth doing what I did
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would have done what you did for far less.
Right. I would, if it was a paycheck, I'd have done that.
Yeah. Right.
And this whole like waiting until the next paycheck, I'm like, okay, you could have solved this problem by just being like, you know what, we fucked it up.
Yeah.
We're cutting you a special check. It'll be there tomorrow. Like that would have been
payroll.
I get. That's how I get reimbursed for travel expenses. Like that comes off cycle. They'll tell me that's not possible. I know it is. It happens all the time.
But they got to get approval from Janet in HR, and Janet's currently swamped.
Janet from HR was on all these emails, by the way. Like not just the ones about the check not being there, but like trying to get this thing pushed through.
Smart.
Months ago. So anyway,
navigating the corporate world is like its own form of judo. It's like
I'm so over it, dude.
Sucks,
So anyway, back to my original point was I got paid, so that solved that problem. But like, I'm over it, man. I am so right now. I don't know if it's a midlife crisis as I look around and see keyboards behind me everywhere. I am not interested in like I'm trying to look for another job. I had an interview last Friday, 2 Fridays ago. I didn't realize it was going to be an interview. I thought it was more just a meet and greet, and the job wasn't really I wasn't a good candidate for it. But I could feel my answers like not. I just wasn't motivated to like try to sell myself for the job.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been there. I get it.
So I don't know.
Dude, I had a job. This actually happened recently while I was in the OpenAI and Anthropic circus. A good company. So a company that just got acquired by ServiceNow, who's a juggernaut, that got to go sell into their install base. I showed up for the interview the second time because the first time I just forgot what time it was. So the second time I showed up for it, and I was supposed to have prepared like a presentation, and I hadn't. And I was like, "Oh, I honestly, man, like I didn't realize that was the thing here. I don't know. You want to just chat anyway?" And he was like, "Okay, well, you had the one strike against you because you missed this last time, and now we got this." And I was like, "Yeah, let's just call it. It's all good."
Right. Yeah. The difference is you actually wanted another job. You wanted one of the other ones.
So I get what you're saying. And when you look around at the landscape that you're in right now, is anything interesting? Like, even if it were a reach, even if you feel like you couldn't get it, is there anything that you're like, man, that would be something I'd like? Or you're not even in that headspace?
I'm not in that headspace, man.
Okay.
I don't like being a corporate fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's just not me. And
Yeah.
I feel like I've been faking it for 20 years, and not because I don't belong, but like just genuinely because I'm not built for it. Like it's a struggle to sit at a desk and plug
I feel the
numbers in.
same way. I've
And so
had this conversation with other friends of mine a lot. And one of my buddies, Max, who is more than anyone I've ever met, built for the corporate world. So like becoming friends with him and seeing how he navigates, like just seems so natural. And he was so excited by it.
mhm.
It made me step back and realize, like, my God, like I think he would collect CEO trading cards if they made them.
Sure.
Like he cares. He's impressed by these people.
Right.
And I'm not.
And like company news and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Oh, did you
the type
see
of person.
the blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, why would I look at that during my free time? Like
Right.
how that interests you? But it does interest him. But also he's helped me to realize that like he thinks that that point of view is my way of, it's the same reason I didn't try hard in school. Because deep down, I was really afraid of failing. I was afraid of
Yeah.
giving it everything and not being enough. And I'm not saying that's the case with you, but when I've gone through this, I came back around because I realized that we're all faking it. It's all performative, and knowing that didn't put me in a better spot.
Right.
But
Well, that's the thing.
But as I prepare for this job coming up, which I'm starting on Tuesday, and I think about the term 996, which has really stayed in my head because I think it's so
Yeah.
obnoxious and it makes me sick to my stomach. And I think about all that I'm going to give to this, how much of my life is about to be dedicated to something. It's not a good feeling.
Right.
And,
You're not
and like
excited.
there is no more exciting thing in what I do than this. This is it.
Yeah, this is you said it, like this proves that you are working in the
Yeah.
pinnacle company.
That's right.
at the peak
I said
of
that when I
its-
didn't get the job.
That's right.
That
No,
that's why
look,
it's
I think a lot of my mindset was a result of this final
yeah.
straw that broke the camel's back. Because I did, man, dude. When I started this job, I like got new clothes, and I was really excited. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
do this.
remember.
I'm gonna build this thing out, and I was excited. And I worked my ass off, dude. And I killed myself and just fought through. I felt like every time I tried to like move forward, I just was being like pushed back by other people in this company that just weren't.
But
They were
that's
not
them
just not
holding up
helping me, but
their
they
end
were
of the
like,
bargain. Like they've taken your fire. They took
yeah,
that
right.
passion and they smothered it through organizational ineptitude, bad management, bad leadership, and just general uninspiring behavior.
Yeah, and so and the job before that ended not in great terms, but
No, I remember that too.
but it was for different reasons. And
That those two in a row, that's tough, man. That's tough.
yeah, so I'm like,
I don't blame you
so
for
I gotta,
feeling that way.
so I'm gonna do this again. And then you read things like Oracle laying off 30,000
Oh,
fucking
dude.
people.
My
and
cousin
all
works
this
there.
bullshit.
And I texted him right away and he's okay, thank God. But I was talking to him.
For
He
now.
lives out in Cali, San Francisco, and I talked to him 2 weeks before that, and he was like, I basically wake up and check to see if my email works every day.
And
He's been there. He's been
say,
there for like 24 years.
right.
It's no way to live.
Right, but what do you do? Like, what's the alternative? And that,
I'll tell you what the
it is-
alternative is. And this is the real question I think you need to explore.
Yeah.
Are you willing to trade in the comfort of a W-2 for the alternative?
The difference, the alternative meaning just change careers.
Meaning
Right?
you're the boss. You can either be a salaried employee
Yeah.
where you have benefits and you can shut off your work at 5 o'clock, or you're an owner and you have your own thing and you never shut it off, but it's yours and you don't report to anybody. You don't have to deal with Janet and HR and all this
I've
other
done that.
horseshit.
I've done that. I feel like that was Bad Domes was a very
Yeah.
good test run for that kind of thing, and it burned me out. But at the same time, there were also, I did get another like job at that point, and it was I wasn't mature enough to like handle how to manage that. I could have, and what, dude, when I'm focused on something, it's like all
I
in.
know.
And
I know, man.
the
I
problem
feel like if
is,
anybody, you and I are built for that kind of thing. I just don't
yeah,
know. It's a courage thing at the end of the day.
it's a courage thing, but look, man, it's not just like, oh, it's not just making that decision, being like, oh, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
turn it off and do something on my own at this point. Like that would destroy it. That would be the end of my marriage, frankly.
Of
And I
course.
can't, so that's
Or
the
yeah, you
decision
would have
there.
to have, you guys would definitely need to be on the same page. That is a,
Yeah, I don't know that would ever fly, honestly. And
well,
that's
if she's
also,
doing well, and it sounds like
it,
she is, you guys might be
yeah,
all
but
right. This might be a good time to take a swing.
yeah, there's more to it maybe that
I get it.
so I think that that's also part of the, it's like I am kind of stuck doing this, and it's
Yeah.
and that's tough to
Yeah.
swallow.
Yeah. Yeah, it
But in
is.
any case,
Especially even if, well, yeah, see, that is tough because you don't know what you would do if you weren't.
I don't have that lightning bolt idea like I did when I decided to do Bad Domes
Do you
yet.
have confidence that you would or that you will?
I don't know. It just kind of it's not up. I feel like shit like that is not up to me, right? It
It's
just
funny. You and I
happens,
think the same way. Yeah.
and it's important that
Yeah.
you recognize it when it happens. And when you're single and you live in a small apartment and you don't have kids or whatever, you can, and you have time to do these things, you can embrace those ideas as opposed to just shut them off and be like, I didn't see that or I didn't feel that and that didn't happen. That's not real. And that's what I don't know. I just I feel like it's not that I haven't been able to do things, you know, because I used to fucking do everything.
I know.
I was Eagles football. I was like, boom,
You
that's it.
tried
I'm doing that.
of everyone I know, you've tried everything you're interested in. I
Yeah.
admire that about you. You really do go in and you have the best kind of ADD where like when that light switch is on, it's on
Yeah.
until burnout.
until burnout. But again, I think that's some of that, dude. When I was doing that, I mean, it was my cousin was here, and I love my cousin, and we had a great time. But I didn't start smoking until that happened because he was the DJ. Like we would play shows together. He would open for me
Oh
as a
yeah.
DJ, and then we hung out all. He sat next to him at the wedding.
Yeah. He's a cool dude.
He and his wife was just like she was always up for partying, and we
Yeah.
drank. I've never drank so much and smoked packs of cigarettes at night.
It's a
Like it was
dangerous
just,
combination.
and I did that for a year and a half, and I was like, I don't want to, I can't do this anymore, man.
Smoking cigarettes is like such a like I've romanticized it so much now. Like how
It's the
good does that
best.
sound?
It's
You
the
know?
best.
Yeah.
It's if they weren't, I've always said this, if they weren't bad for you, everybody would smoke. It's
Remember
not
when
even if they
everyone
were
did
good for you.
smoke?
Yeah, if they
Remember
weren't
when
bad for you.
news anchors smoke?
Smoking in a bar.
Smoking in an airplane.
In a car, just just everywhere.
Windows up, smoking with your kids in the back. What a life. You seem stressed out, my friend.
Very. I slept like 2 hours last night. I just yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna
whatever.
happen.
Something. Here's what's gonna happen. The universe will push me to a decision on something here, right? Like it will.
Yeah.
I will either lose a job or get laid off or something, or another one will come around, or something else will happen, and it will I feel like I'm on the precipice of that sort of event.
Are you a believer in like the law of attraction? Have you ever studied that or heard about that? You know, with
No, tell me about that.
basically The Secret. You know, you visualize what you want and it comes to you.
No, I I,
I
I
think it's
don't think
very real.
that's. Yeah, maybe it is. I'm very much the opposite of like you don't really know what the next thing is going to be,
Yeah,
but it will strike you.
yeah. I think those are the same thing, just put differently. There's the if you're just coming from a standpoint of you're not convicted on what you want next, but you do have conviction that the universe will bring it to you.
Will present it to you, right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna You're not gonna win the lottery kind of thing.
Hey, you never know.
And I feel like those kinds of things happen all the time to different varying degrees.
Yeah.
But man, like the feeling, I don't. There is a feeling of like matrix level consciousness that has occurred to me in a few different times in my
Yeah.
life where it literally that moment it is clear to me what the next move is to do to like do something.
That's
And
interesting.
then it's crazy, like it's like time stops.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those two things where I was at the girl talk show in the fucking front row or near the front, whatever. And then all of a sudden it was like in the middle of the concert. It wasn't like in the beginning. And I've been listening to Girl Talk for a while by that point, but I was at the show and I'm like, oh, like while in the middle of a song, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this now. Like that's what's going to happen for the next 2 years of my life. I'm not going to do anything else but this.
Yeah.
Or I was at the bar and then all of a sudden I look up and there's an Aussie Rules game on TV and like again it's like oh that's possible here
Yeah.
probably I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna do that for the next 4 years.
That's really cool.
That's my new thing and it's like that feeling. Um, what if I'm afraid of anything, it's that I get that feeling, but it's just chasing it won't be possible
Whoa.
because of
Whoa.
different life circumstances.
Sure. Oh, wow. Holy shit.
That's
That's
the
interesting.
thing.
Huh. You have to be a very unique individual. Back to the universe bringing us things. I think about it like we're all radios, and you can only listen to a certain radio station if you tune into that frequency. So there's a
Yeah, I
million
agree with
people that
that.
could have been standing in the same place at the same girl talk show and at that same bar with the Aussie Rules game on, but they weren't tuned to the right frequency, and it didn't.
Sure.
But
Yeah, no, I
it
agree with
did.
that.
You're tuned to a very unique frequency. That's it. Like I've never had that thought in my life, but I totally understand what you mean. That like I man, that's really interesting. You're making me think if I've ever had that feeling. I think I have, but I don't know that I've felt it in a moment like that. I'm a little
It,
more im I guess you don't get more impulsive than that. I don't know. That's interesting. That's a cool way to describe how you think.
it
Like
was
that's
impulsive, but it
it's really
also
cool.
was, yeah, yeah. I don't know. They were, I wouldn't trade. I'll never forget those, right? Like those were literally, I can look back at those moments and be like, that was the moment my life literally changed.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you don't just stand around and wait for that to happen. You got to live your life in the meantime. And
Yeah, but I
so,
don't get the sense that you were standing around waiting for that to happen.
no,
It was
but
more just like
I
you were living your life and
that's right.
you were
So,
trying things and you were out in the world.
tying it together,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you gotta, and maybe that's what it comes down to, man. I look back and what's the similarities from those two is like those were social,
Yeah. You were out.
external things, and I do that less now. And there's really no reason to do that. Maybe I just gotta like force myself to get out and go to shows, especially with art, man.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is inherently inspiring. And so going to more shows again and just kind of like feeling you're not going to get that if you're in the same four walls all the time.
100%. And
So maybe
from the
that's
outside,
answer.
I have no doubt that it will happen again, and that you will find something, and that whatever you choose to do, you'll be as successful as you want to be. You know, it's easy for someone else's life, right? But I don't know. Still probably helps to hear it. Like
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I worry about a lot of things, but I don't worry about you finding something you're interested in.
Yeah. That's,
you will.
Yeah, almost to a fault.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I do think so. My friend Mark in Baltimore picked up a guitar. He retired recently, and I can't believe we have friends that are fucking of retirement age already.
How is that possible?
He's a young retiree. Baltimore's not an expensive city. His house has been paid off. Yeah, they've been living in the same house for a long time, and like it's like okay,
wow.
His work ended, and that was it. He's like, all right, I'm done. I'm good. You cared about his money and like doesn't live high on the hog or anything like that. It's a golf friend.
That's fascinating in itself. The fact that like I know there are people who have made less money than me that have just made different decisions that now have options that I don't. And I don't know that I would trade places with them.
It's tough to go down that route because at some point, again, it's like you don't really have that choice.
Yeah.
At some point, it's not realistic. And if let's say you do explore those options and you decide that the other route was better, like then now what are you going to do about it? That's it. Are you going to live with that for the rest of your life, that you made the wrong choices your entire life?
Right.
And now you're a 996.
Now you're a 996er.
Because you're stuck on the hamster wheel.
Yeah, you can either suffer now or suffer later, but suffering later in life is a lot harder than suffering early in life.
Yeah.
You don't want to be old and broke is a lot harder than young and broke.
At the same time, it's though, yeah, of course, right? I mean, we were all young and broke at some point.
Yeah.
And that was, I was, and I look back and I'm like, this is the best years.
But we were all broke. If you're the 150-year-old who's broke, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Little less.
Well, yeah, look, you don't want to be 50 and broke, but if you're talking like 75 or 80, like,
yeah,
so what, man?
It doesn't matter.
It's fucking.
What are you doing anyway?
Call it a day. There are things you can do to handle that yourself. I feel like at that point, what are you gonna live at just go get arrested? You got a place to live. 3 meals a day.
Speaking of arrested, I saw the Tiger body cam footage.
Yeah, he called the prez.
Did you see it? Yeah, he called the prez. Sorry, I was just talking to the president.
Man, that guy. Do we have to wait until he actually kills somebody until we permanently take his license away? I mean, come on. What a loser, dude.
He's going out of the country to get help, buddy. He's going to be just fine.
He tried all the domestic treatment programs. None of them. They all failed him.
He's going to go hang out in Dubai for a couple months.
Right. I'm checking I actually wrote this in our golf chat. Let me read it because it was good. I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to mess it up.
The delivery was good. Let's see if I can find it quickly. There we go. This is a Tiger quote. After the failures of all domestic treatment programs to help me, I have decided to make the sacrifice to pursue an inpatient rehabilitation at the Four Seasons in Bora Bora. To illustrate how serious I am taking this matter, I will be extending my treatment from the typical 30 days to 5 full months.
Four Seasons, Bora Bora. Guys, I'm really taking this seriously. What's interesting though, other than I've seen some great memes. The only like really funny part was when he was falling asleep in the back of the cop car with the blanket over his head. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
And someone did a meme of him in the ET basket, like on the bike, in the front of the bike, like a Mother Teresa one. But other than that, he seemed like I don't think this is going to hold. I don't think he'll get convicted.
He already has a DUI, right? But first of all, he's Tiger Woods, right? So if that's he has a DUI, he's also rolled a car before
Yeah.
that didn't result in a DUI because I think the cops
They just didn't test
did
him.
everything they could to not
Yeah.
find the things they needed to find.
Yeah.
He now has rolled a car again in the middle of the day. Again, it's like at what point are we going to I guess he actually has to kill somebody before
Yeah.
he gets held accountable.
Even then, 14 majors, buddy. Might have to kill a
I'm
couple
so
people.
over him.
He might have to kill a couple people before anyone gets really worked up about it.
And this is a guy. Look, I'm at this point I'm kind of judging. It's been he's now had 3 incidents.
I don't see a man who's made any effort to get help or better himself.
A billionaire who has no desire to change and be a better person, and
That's right.
has every resource available to do so.
That's right. Like people say, oh, why doesn't he get a driver or take an Uber? That's an easy one to answer. The man does a lot of side missions, a lot of side quests, and side quests are usually self-driven adventures, right?
yeah, right.
But
get an Uber driver.
Yeah, like he doesn't want a driver getting into whatever and seeing whatever he's getting himself into. But the other thing about like the resources he has, that part I don't get. Like at some point, I have all the empathy in the world for drug addiction, but that's not drug addiction. That's drug addiction plus massive amounts of arrogance. Like he's clearly addicted to pills. Like he had them on him. Right. And he's probably prescribed whatever he wants. And he's had a bunch of surgeries. So the psychological toll of being in pain for what years?
Yeah, his entire adult life, basically.
That's crazy. Like it's huge, and I don't blame him for wanting some relief. But at some point, like, how does he not want to get off that hamster wheel?
Yeah, and my thing is, I think at this point, this is a weird take, but from someone who's had a number of surgeries, like and they give you, I've never needed pain meds for more than 4 days, 5 days after the surgery.
No one does.
Like narcotic level.
Beyond that, it's recreational.
Right, but they always give you. When I broke my leg, I got 90 days worth of pills.
It's a lot.
5 days worth of pain, essentially.
That's
maybe a little bit more, but whatever.
That's enough to ruin your life plus 60 days.
And so I think that he, on some level, when he gets injured, he's like, okay, at least now I have a legitimate reason to ask for prescriptions.
Yep.
And so I'm good until I don't, and then
until my next surgery.
Have a back surgery, or my leg has to be repaired again, and I'll have to figure that out. So if I roll the car, it's like, okay, well, at least I'm going to the hospital.
Yeah, well, that's sad, but I bet you're right. Now I know you're right. Like that is how that works. Like he although I can't imagine that he would have a hard time getting a doctor to write him.
I agree with that. But I agree,
but it's different. You still got to go to someone and ask for something you don't need, and that person's got friends, and so you're dead on.
It's not sad anymore at this point.
I saw a Golf Digest article that said in his circle, it's well known that if you want to talk to him about preparing for the Masters or any of his charities, you get to him in the morning. It's been like
by noon he's had a glass of Chardonnay and a Percocet.
Yeah. I mean, that's like any addict, alcoholic, usually alcoholics, but pills too. Afternoons, you're ramped up at that point. No business is getting conducted.
He looked bad, man. So Charlie, that's the other thing. His kids are like adults. They're young adults. Charlie's still in high school, but I think his daughter's older.
Time.
She's in college, and I think, and he's like a freshman or sophomore in high school. It's like this is beyond the level of you being able to explain this away and them not being able to access opinions on the internet from other people.
This is
when
why
he cheated on Elin, that was one thing, but
well,
it was
that
one thing, meaning it was different.
but that's the whole cycle. His
Time
dad
of
did
their
that.
life.
His
Sure.
dad would be giving golf lessons, and then he would take him into the trailer, the women, and Tiger would be waiting outside. So that's what he grew up with. And so now he's doing it, and his kids are seeing it, and he's adding drug addiction on top of it. And now Charlie and his daughter, they're going to do the same. Like it just keeps going and going and going and going.
And by the way,
and it like the narcotics he's taking, while I'm sure they are for pain, I've always said this: painkillers are best designed for psychological pain, not physical pain.
oh yeah,
That is what they
I can
treat.
agree with that.
Yeah. And maybe that's even how the doctors who made them would describe them, but I've never heard it described that way by like a medical professional.
There's let's put it this way: the ones they give you, two things. One, remember when Elon found like, oh, she hit him in the head with a and he ran to the he ran his car into the fire hydrant. Yeah, he was probably high at that point.
No,
That's
not
what
probably.
happened.
The tox report showed Ambien, opioids,
Right.
benzos. Like he was lit.
I didn't realize that, but okay.
Yeah,
So we can put this to
multiple
rest now.
drugs.
This has been going on for 15 years.
That's right.
Number two, there's pain medication that is completely non intoxicating.
Yeah, non-narcotic or non-intoxicating.
Non-intoxicating. When I was
But
in
it's
the
still a
hospital,
narcotic.
I don't know actually. I don't know what they gave. I don't even know what they gave me.
Yeah.
They were the guy had numbed my leg. This is when my leg was broken. And I had to spend the night in the hospital before I could have
They
surgery
probably
next
gave
morning.
you morphine in the hospital.
Well, no. At this point, they had. They gave me like Tylenol with codeine or something. I don't know, some pill worth, but it was like a Tylenol. It wasn't Dilaudid. It wasn't Percocet.
Yeah.
And they gave me a few of them. At some point that night, the doctor said, all right, well, we're going to do surgery in the morning, but I have to set your leg, I have to cast your leg today so that because it's healing already and it's got to heal in the right position. So he numbed it, gave me a shot in my ankle, like a bunch of them. He's like, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm going to get the plaster and we'll do it. And then something happened and he was gone for an hour. By the time he came back, it had just worn off. It wasn't numb anymore. And he put my foot on his chest.
Oh no.
And like leaned forward and casted it. And I started, I was going to throw up. I was sweating.
You felt
And the
it.
nurse, oh my God, that was the worst pain of my life.
Oh
Easily.
my gosh, dude.
Like literally sweating,
Terrible.
getting nauseous. And the nurse who was there ran and got a syringe of something, put it in my IV line, but it just like got rid of the pain. But it didn't like I wasn't like,
You didn't feel the
You know.
warmth, the blanket, the blanket of warmth come over you? Then I wonder.
no, I don't know if it was
maybe
Toradol.
it's I was just gonna say Toradol. That's what they give the NFL players. But they
Fucking house, man.
okay, so I have
Over
to.
it.
Allison was asking me yesterday how everything's going. I told her I'd get an update with the house. She's very invested in this situation. I give her all
We're
the
moving.
updates.
Yeah, no, we're moving. We have for legal reasons I don't want to go on record here.
So it's going well. That's great to hear.
Yeah, it's great. It's fucking money pit, man. I'm so I would never have done knowing this, I would never have done this.
Yeah, I believe it or not, I picked that up prior to this conversation. You know what we should call this show? We should call it One White Door, One Painted Door.
Yeah, everything else is largely the same.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so they probably gave you Toradol.
I'm guessing that's what it was. And it so I think you can get pain meds without, but they don't like prescribe Toradol pills.
I think now, because of the opioid crisis, it's much harder. I've heard people on podcasts talking about having the Always Sunny podcast. One of the guys was saying that he broke his collarbone and had to like beg, borrow, and steal to get them to give him narcotic painkillers because he was in so much pain.
Okay.
So I think and he's famous. So like if they're cracking down on him,
I'm
it's
hoping,
gotta
yeah,
be harder
that
for everybody.
I'm trying to think when was my last surgery? It was my knee. So that was 2017. He was like,
2017, yeah, they were probably cracking down by then.
well, my doctor goes, like literally the last thing he said as he was walking out of the pre-op room, he's like, pain meds, you have preference? I was like, Dilaudid. He's like, okay, cool. No problem. That was it. Dilaudid.
Okay, maybe not then. That's a pretty potent one.
Once you have it, it's like, all right,
There's no
who cares
need
everything
taking
else?
anything else.
And that, I'll tell you, man, first of all, it's scary. Second of all, it is, but I took every single fucking one of them that they
course you
prescribed
did.
me. But I like had no desire, and that's how I knew I was like, I'm never gonna get addicted to this because I never had the thought of let me go chase this,
Oh my god, man.
see if I
That's
can get
crazy.
more.
But I can't even be in the same room as a painkiller. Like I will,
Yeah.
I'm fine up until the first one. Like it's just like an alcoholic with a drink. Like you're fine until you take the first one, and then it's like all bets are off.
Yeah,
I don't even understand why. I guess I do understand why, but there are very few times. Although now I think I'm in a much better place, but who doesn't want a 4-hour vacation from life? It's a pretty easy sales pitch. Hey,
right.
would you like to feel great for 4 hours and not worry about anything? Okay. Doesn't sound terrible.
It's
With a
you
caveat
get it.
that
Like
it's going to
that's the thing.
destroy your life afterwards.
Everyone understands it. Everyone you do it, and it's like okay. And honestly, it's like at some point it does provide a level of empathy for other people
Yeah.
who struggle with it after
Yeah.
you've taken it and be like, oh, okay,
Yeah. Now I get
now
it.
I see what it's like.
Yeah.
And some people just do not want to not feel like this.
Yeah.
And
Clearly,
it's an
Tiger is
easy
among
way. It's a
those.
fucking shortcut, man. It really is. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to get there, but
Lots of other ways
that
to get there.
that
Not
is
that
a
easy.
way. Yeah, right.
You
But
could
in any
exercise.
case,
You could go for a run. You could
right.
hug a loved one. Call an old
Read a
friend and say hello.
read a book.
Read a book. Go for a walk.
I go for walks all the time. That shit doesn't work. All I deal is with people and their fucking dogs in this neighborhood, man.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
neighbor is very good with his dog. He is even when I see and I know his dog, right?
You guys are on good terms.
When I see him
with this
walking,
dog?
yeah, his dog's awesome, but he's very good about like his dog's pretty high energy and he keeps him close, right? And he doesn't. I don't think he wants to get in that dog from it like in the mode of walk up to everyone who greets him, right?
Right.
Like it's not that's not what we're out here to do. We're out here to walk. And so I almost feel bad sometimes when I say hi to his dog or pet his dog. Some people in this neighborhood, man, just don't fucking care.
90%
Like
of
walking
people
down the
who own
street.
dogs have no business owning them.
That's right. And
It gets on my nerves.
Yeah. So you go for a walk and you just encounter all these poorly trained dogs.
I mean,
And
it makes
you're more
me
stressed
so
than when you
angry
started.
because it's bad for the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They need discipline. They're like people and kids. It's the same assholes who let their kids run around and wreck everyone's shit and then laugh about it. The
Yeah.
same people think it's a good idea to get a dog and then not give it any discipline.
I feel like there's people, I'm sure there'd be people who would care more about their kids wrecking shit than their dogs wrecking shit. Or like getting up in someone's space. He's friendly.
I don't know.
I don't want your dog's nose in my, like, get your dog off of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like dogs and that still bothers me. Like I just don't understand. I instantly lose respect for the owner
Yeah.
and feel bad for the dog.
And you're right.
And I
It's
want to
bad,
like
dude.
start a program for them.
So I've been bitten by a dog, this little fucking Bichon. I told you that story.
Of course you have.
Steven. Steven the Bichon bit me. ran
got
out
bit
of his
by a pit
house.
bull once.
So we both had bad experiences with a dog,
Yeah.
right? And that doesn't, I'm not afraid of dogs now. But in the back of my head, it's like if a dog's running up to me, either not on a leash or just like unabated, like his owner is not stopping it. Like, I don't know that that dog's not going to bite me.
Yeah. You don't know that. I'm golfing today.
Good.
Last day of
That'll,
freedom.
that'll, well, you got big weekend plans? And Monday,
Well, weekend, I'm on the clock. That's not my time.
got it.
Yeah. It's,
And by the way, thank you for having the nanny come early so that you can talk
I mean,
to your friend on the internet.
this is, well, first of all, that's an issue in this household of Allison just wants her cake and eat it too. She wants to be able to spend time with Sloan and work. And I'm like, well, I'm unavailable during work hours. So, but she also wants to go to the gym. And she also wants to have lunch. And I'm like, well, if you're not watching the kid and the nanny's not here and she's not at daycare, what do you think's gonna happen? How do you think? Play it out for me. That drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And certainly not like we were the first time, but we're not trying to have a second.
Okay.
But this time we're just going to let Jesus take the wheel. And
Got it.
the odds are not great considering how difficult it was the first time around. And it's not that I don't want a second, but I do think about how much that would. I think I can handle one, barely.
Of course.
I'm hanging on.
You seem to be doing all right.
I'm hanging on. Two. I don't understand how people did it. Like your parents, my parents, how? How the hell?
That was,
and
those
your
were the
parents
days.
worked. Both of your parents worked.
My mom didn't for a while. She was, until we were in middle school, she didn't work.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't think I
Yeah.
knew that.
It was right around the time, I don't know how much we lived in Upper St. Clair without her working. When my dad, I'm trying to think. She ended up going and getting a job or two. And that was the problem. Like, she wanted to work. She needed something, right? And I get it. That would be really tough.
Yeah.
For someone who really wants to like contribute to or have something else to do other than watch kids. And my dad was off.
It's
He
not
was
that watching
gone
kids
all the
isn't
time,
hard.
right?
It's just, it's mind numbing.
Yeah, and it was doubly tough since my dad was in Atlanta and London.
Yeah, that's right.
All the time.
On the Concord.
And so, yeah, she ended up getting a job. I think once we were old enough to like let ourselves in after coming home from school.
Yeah.
And so that was probably 5th or 6th grade. Definitely when we were walking to Fort Couch, she was, I think by that, oh yeah, she was definitely working there. And then they bought the business when we were in the summer before 8th grade.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that. I remember when that happened. And that was middle schoolish. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember working on a job. I'm working on a union job, talking to somebody about playing football in the fall time, which I did in 8th grade. So this is like I was 12.
Fullback, number 44.
Number 13. I wore number 44 because that was your favorite number.
That's awesome, man. I love that.
But yeah, so at that point that she started working in, but we were already kind of like self-sufficient. And so I think to answer the questions, like people were able to do that, at least in Pittsburgh, where you could get by on one salary and someone just had to suck it up and be the primary caretaker.
What's interesting is that here, and this is one of those grass is always greener things, Allison says that she wants to stay home. That's been her posture the whole time. She took a year off for Sloan,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's back to work. And I got the job at Anthropic, and I was like, okay, you can stay home. She was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to. I mean, and when I say she could stay home, that would mean us taking all of the good things in life and cutting them in half
Sure.
to make that work. Because this is definitely an area, and same with where you live, where you need two incomes. You need two incomes without a kid, right? Don't you feel
Uh,
that way?
I mean, no, I don't. I mean, there's no
That's your
way.
low
Like
mortgage
you don't.
interest rate talking.
I mean, to live in a house like this, yeah,
For those of us
probably.
at 6 3/4, you need two jobs.
Dude, we were living in that condo. That was not a long term sustainable
Oh,
thing.
really?
But
Okay.
the mortgage was on a percentage basis of the monthly net take home pay. It was like 10%.
Oh man,
I mean,
that's
come on,
nice.
it was just unbelievable. And so
That's
it
very
was
nice.
you buy a house and you fucking tear it up and rebuild it. Then yeah,
Now
you
you're at
need to.
40%. What's crazy to me is when we were looking for a home, when we were getting outbid, and I was sitting down and doing the math from two incomes where we make a good living and looking around and thinking either these people are spending half of what they take home on the mortgage, or there's far more money here than I understand. And if so,
Right.
where's it coming from?
Just yeah, you never really know if people
No,
just are sitting on something, right?
some big
For,
nest egg.
it's hard to know, but I do think a lot of it is people spending a lot on houses. That is throughout time. That has always been the case because the lenders can't help themselves and they will lend money to people who can barely make payments in the
Yeah,
best case scenario.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm so
That's
glad
happened.
that we
Yeah.
didn't. The first offer we put in on a house would have stretched us.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You never know until you're in it, until you feel it. They're just numbers on a page. I don't know how it would have felt, but I don't think it would have felt good. And I do wonder,
How
like, if I would have even been in the mental space to chase something like Anthropic, with that much pressure on me.
sure. Yeah. How is the house? It look I'm it you know,
We had it
you
painted while
guys
we were on vacation. I'm
cool.
shocked at how big of a difference it made. So now, and we did a lot of skim coating too. So we got the popcorn walls and orange peel texture smoothed out and fresh coat of paint in the colors we chose. So it's starting to feel like our house. So now we've got the floors done, we've got the roof done, we've got the walls painted. We just did the first floor because this was the second painter we hired, and we didn't, the first one like didn't even come back to finish, and we didn't want him to. And so we
Okay.
didn't call them and they didn't call us. And so now we'll do the second floor. It's coming along. Like I'm starting to walk around and feel like, okay, this now feels like something that's worth what we paid for it,
Got it.
even though we had to
Nice.
spend a ton of extra money to get it there.
Yeah. And it's been what, a year and a half?
Not even
Did you
July will be a year,
okay.
or June,
Okay.
end of June. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. We got it. Did I tell you I got a quote on the windows?
Now, oh, you mentioned it, but what was it?
Do you know how many windows you have? You probably do because you just did this. Did you replace your windows?
Yes, every single one of them.
Do you know how
Almost every
many?
single one of them.
Do you know how many you have? Ours is
I don't
25,
know. Okay, it's less than that, I think.
but probably around there.
Yeah. Yeah, probably near there.
$63,000 was the quote we got.
I think that's not far off what our quote was.
That's fucking crazy.
It's yeah, it like so what's the issue with the windows? They're just old and they're not
Single
insulated well
pane,
and yeah,
90-year-old
okay.
windows. I mean, there's no problem with them. You know, it's just we're bleeding heat and we're sacrificing our electricity and heating bill every month. But I don't know that it's a 63K is going to have much of an ROI.
Definitely not.
And I'll tell you the other thing. I like when the guy brought a sample of the windows, triple pane, you know, not letting any heat out, but you're also like not letting any light in. And they're so thick. These windows are beautiful. Like
Light. The light doesn't come through the glass.
the
You getting
windows,
glass in
this
those
this
windows? Or?
company that came only sells one kind of window. That's their
Okay.
shtick. And yeah, they were like tinted a little bit.
That's not a bad thing. I think that's not. I would prefer more
I don't
tints
like
to
that.
all of our windows. I don't want people
We're
looking in the house.
surrounded by so much greenery and it's so beautiful and there's so much windows and so much light. I like that.
It's not like you're not going to be able to see out.
You don't think it's going to be like a
I
blackout
wish.
windows?
No, yeah, yeah. You can get those for a lot less than 63 grand.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to go blackout windows.
They should make blue blocker windows. That would be. I would fucking buy those.
Of course
If
you
there's a
would.
way that they didn't look like that, but like that's how it looked. The outside looked if you looked out from the inside.
Yeah.
That's maybe there's the idea.
It'd be cool to get windows that had that you could like send an electronic charge into and make them blue blocker or make them blackout. Like click a little
I think
button
those
and then it goes.
exist.
Yeah,
They're
fucking cool.
yeah. I can just see that being
Yeah,
where
you
you lose
got
power and then you
yeah,
can't.
you got one window flickering in and out of blue blocker mode.
It's like picking up a local TV station over the air.
Yeah.
It's like
Reminds
what
me
is
of
it
Back
like?
to the Future.
Yeah, it
Remember Back
turns
to
into
the
like
Future?
the chroma scale, just like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
very futuristic.
The I also don't like the windows with the fake crossbars.
Fake crossbars.
Yeah. You know, windows have the crossbars.
The yeah,
It's
I don't
usually
understand
a
when it's
piece of
fake.
plastic on top of a window. These are actual squares of glass.
Oh
It's got some old charm to it, is what I'm saying.
yeah. No, I agree with that. Like old
Yeah.
windows, and they probably have lead paint. The paint's just like
Yeah.
awesome,
Yeah. I love the lead paint. That's one of my
and
favorite things.
it looks old school. It's something that, yeah, new windows definitely changes up the look of a house,
Yeah.
and in like not in like a almost like a soulless way.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So the tint was one thing. These things were just so robust
They're
and
big.
plasticky looking and bulky, and it would take away the aesthetic charm.
I
And
think
if it's not really broken, I'm not in a rush to spend $63,000 for something that's gonna piss me off every time I look at it.
the only thing you can do is to paint them a color that makes them not look like they're brand new white windows. And I
The
don't
new
know if
ones, you
that's a
mean?
design. Yeah, the new ones.
Yeah. So we actually, Allison was on that. She instead of painting them, you can order them in black.
Okay.
And I had never thought of or heard of this, but now that I know about it, I look around the neighborhoods and I see it. It looks cool.
Like the
You can do
farmhouse
black
look.
inward facing or outward facing or both. The catch is that would make the price $110,000.
Oof.
And I asked the
if
guy
you
why, and
order,
he's like, "Oh, dude, we got to treat it."
you know,
Why?
yeah,
I'll tell you why.
I could tell you, but I don't want to bore you to death. It's just the chemistry involved. It's
Yeah,
like they're just painting the windows black. Just
it's a Pilar PVC Nylocroft sheen that they got to spray on it
yeah,
at the factory.
yeah. And
The
it's
spray
I tell
guy's
you
only
what.
there twice a month.
Yeah, he's tell you what, that they haven't banned that chemical yet, but they will. We get it from the Philippines. You don't even we get it on yeah. It comes over not even on a cargo ship. They bring it over in backpacks on commercial airline flights. Like it is
One at a
they
time.
gotta don't tell anyone I told you that, but
Yeah.
that's what we put on it. And you gotta pay for, they like to fly business class, and
Yeah.
so that's where all the extra
Speaking of which, have
50
you ever
grand.
stayed at the Four Seasons? Have you had the
Yeah.
pleasure yet?
Hmm.
I think
In
the analogy
Lanai.
to the Four Seasons to any other hotel is the same as economy plus to business class. It's a different level of service. You sit in economy plus, you're not uncomfortable. You got everything you need. Someone's still bringing you drinks. But in business class, like they're excited for you to order that drink. They're pleasant about it. They anticipate your needs. They know where you're going. They know how long you're going for. Do you want me to wake you up with a coffee when we land? Like that's just
I have never had that experience, but I'll take your
Really?
word for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Not that I've
happened
flown business class very often, but
when I flew to Amsterdam on the red eye. She was like, "Do you gonna want food?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna sleep." She's like, "Great. What time do you want to wake up? I'll be here with a coffee." And I said, "No, that's a nice thing. Thank you."
Yeah, maybe the international business class
Yeah,
gets
it
you
was
there.
United's Polaris cabin is what they call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had the pleasure.
Mm, well,
The only business class flights I've taken are domestic. Psh,
but wouldn't you
it's
say that
almost not even worth it.
that's the Four Seasons experience? It was my first time staying at a Four Seasons.
Um, yes, it's obviously it's very nice.
It's not just that it's very nice and that there was nothing out of place. It's a different, you're spending a lot of money. You feel like you're spending a lot of money while you're there, but not in a bad way. Like you feel
Yeah.
the extra. And I was trying to think, what is just a step below that? And my
Marriott
analogy,
Marquis.
exactly. My
Right.
analogy is the same. What's just a step below business class? There isn't
Yeah.
anything. There's business
Right.
class, a huge amount of difference, and then whatever comes next,
Yeah.
or a huge amount of
Yeah.
space. And I think the Four Seasons is 2x the price, but 10x better.
I feel like the things that stuck out to me about the Four Seasons was one, the property is obviously very gorgeous and the rooms are great. However, the like we were in Hawaii and we had already stayed at a couple hotels.
Oh,
and
which
just
one in
getting
Hawaii?
the one in Lanai is where we stayed
Okay.
on our honeymoon,
Yeah.
which is it was the nicest hotel I've ever stayed at. But the fact that they had chairs available at the pool whenever the fuck you wanted to sit there is seems like it shouldn't be a thing, but it is absolutely a thing. Like that is something that every other hotel does not. Like people are out there at 8 a.m. claiming fucking chairs.
I was out there at 6:45 every day claiming our chairs in
Yeah.
Nevis.
Were you? Yeah.
Yep. And we made friends with a couple from Toronto, and they had a kid, Sloan, a boy that was Sloan's age.
Cool.
Like they booked their vacation a few weeks ago, just like there was like a lot of similarities. So we found common ground. And his kid got up at like 5. So every day he would go and reserve the same 4 chairs for us.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Except
then the Four
except
Seasons,
go
they
ahead.
caught on, and then they started just reserving them for us.
Oh, okay.
That was the difference to me. On the last day we were there, 4 different people knocked on our door and brought Sloan gifts, some of whom I had never seen before. And they were like, "Oh, we just wanted to say goodbye to Sloan. Here's a stuffed monkey with her name embroidered on it."
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's
yeah, you're
nice.
right. That's a different level of service.
You were there for your honeymoon, and they knew that, right?
Yes.
You probably
Yes.
had champagne waiting in the room and a cake or something.
Probably. I don't remember exactly that. But
I
yeah,
told
I'm
them
sure there was
I was
something
celebrating a new job I said it was our 5-year anniversary in October, but we were celebrating it for this trip. There was cake, anniversary, like they took good care of us. And after our first night there, I haggled us an upgrade to a suite. That was a good move. That was a very good move.
Always, man. You just never satisfied. Just give me more. Give me more.
The whole reason I go on vacation for 2 things: to haggle an upgrade to a better room and to extend the trip. Those are my 2 favorite parts of vacation. I love it.
Yeah. It's the thrill of the chase.
It really
Always
is. I
for
mean, dude,
you.
and I got a smoking deal on that upgrade. An extra
Yeah.
$200 a night for a suite. Come on.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. You would have loved working at Enterprise.
I probably would have. I mean, I had been going back and forth with them over email for about a week before we got there. And when I got off the boat, my woman that I had been talking to was waiting for us to walk us, to the check-in or whatever. And I was like, hey, so the couple days before that, she sent me an offer for $300. By the way, it started at $1,500 extra per night for the upgrade. And I was like, ooh, I want nothing more than to surprise my wife with this sweet upgrade, because you got to spin a narrative into it, right?
Sure.
This is our first family vacation ever. It's our first vacation in 3 years. Like, I've got to get this right for her. I've got to get this right for my family. And so they came back with 300, and I was like, it's just still a little bit out of our budget. Thank you. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, fuck, I should take that. And it was gone. So I got off the boat and I was like, I snooze, I lose, huh? And she started laughing and said, I think there might be some other options. And I was like, yeah, fucking game on. Let's go. Let's go.
So you didn't change rooms. They already
No,
you
we
did
did. We
what
spent one night in the regular room and then,
got it.
yeah.
Yeah, man, good for you. Another
Yeah.
successful vacation.
Another
That's
successful-
that's how you
although we
measure the
didn't-
success.
We didn't extend the trip, so it was a bit of a failure, but
Ugh,
we
it's
actually
not even
did,
worth
but we
going.
did it before we got there. We extended by
Oh.
one night. What do you think is the optimal? How many nights for
Someone's at the front
the
door.
right vacation?
For a place like that,
Yeah, or
Nevis.
Hawaii or anywhere, beach vacation,
Like a
luxury
long- well,
beach vacation.
yeah. Well, I mean, travel time, like going to Hawaii is you're
Yeah, that's
losing over a day almost getting
Yeah.
to and from. So,
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, at
Nevis,
least
it was a
week.
4-hour flight,
Yeah,
so let's go with that.
beat for the beach. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever flown to like up and like had a beach vacation. Other than like that was a honeymoon. We did other things. It wasn't we were just at the beach. And we like didn't spend that much time at the beach.
So you're saying that's not your go-to?
If I'm going to the beach, I'm driving. And I'd prefer so and if you're driving 2 or 3 hours to the Delaware beaches, like
But you're not driving
know.
to the Bahamas.
no.
You're saying that the Caribbean is not your first choice for
if I'm
destination.
if I'm getting on an airplane to go to the beach,
Yeah.
it's at least 5 days.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we just did 7 nights.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
That's sufficient. Yeah, I think so. At some
Yeah.
point, you're like, I kind of want to get the fuck out of here.
I had that
Tired
feeling.
of dealing with chairs and like all this bullshit.
I had that feeling, but I also kind of thought as we got closer to the end, I was like, nah, 10 days is the move. 10 is the number. That's the number.
Listen, you can drive. You can rent a beach house at one. I'm sure a beach nearby you and rent it for 2 weeks, and it'd be cheaper than going to.
Takes
Four
a couple
Seasons.
days to downshift, right? To like relax.
I've never done it. I don't know that I've ever done 2 weeks. I'm trying to think. Maybe we did do that one time.
I only did it
That-
to Thailand.
Yeah.
That was a 2-weeker. It's the best thing in the world because you finish your first week and you're like, I've got another full week of this.
Yeah.
Like the best vacation are the ones where you sit and think, like, maybe I don't go back. Maybe I just set up shop here. There's something
well-
about getting into a routine on vacation that becomes
Yeah.
your routine. And then you're like, okay, you're like relaxed and you're in it. I don't know.
Yeah, you're saying that, and man, I'll tell you what. Like, I've had the thought of like, I just want to rent like a beach house. It's not on the water, but like a house near the beach.
You
That
should
can
move
walk
to New
the
Jersey. Jersey
yeah,
Shore.
or
is tons of options.
or Delaware, whatever. Like all these
Yeah.
places, and then just like take my shit there for a month, and then live there for a month.
This whole
And it wouldn't be
northern New Jersey empties out in the summer. Everybody, they call it down the shore. Everybody goes down the
Right.
shore.
right.
And then so I started looking at houses down the shore. And again, I'm back into the same thing of where the fuck do these people get the money? Like shitty places and the shitty parts are over $1 million for a second home.
Well, yeah, I don't know that people are, maybe they are. I don't know, but like you can rent those houses, right? You don't
But I-
have to buy a house.
I love
every
the
time you go
idea
stay somewhere.
of for 3 months. So for what? May or June, July, and August, or May, June, July. I could commute from there. Like I could live there,
Mhm.
commute
Right.
into the city, just have a longer commute for work, and come home every day to the beach. Or we have a place and Friday at 1 p.m., I'm like, let's go.
That would
We're
get
there
old,
for
I
dinner.
think.
Right? Or we're there way before. It's like an hour drive. It's
If it's
so
only an hour,
accessible.
that's one thing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
would
an hour
get tired.
with traffic. It's probably 2 or 2.5 because everyone's
that-
doing the same thing.
That's when it's starting to get like I don't want to sit in that traffic on a Friday
And then back
afternoon.
again on Sunday. Same
Right.
thing. So you
And
got
then-
to like
and-
strategize. And
You got 48 hours, not even of like
Yeah.
relaxing time.
I don't know. There's
I don't know.
something nice about Friday afternoon. You have dinner on the deck looking over the beach.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's
Visitor.
Hey, my mom's leaving.
Oh, all right. I gotta
All right, buddy.
shut it down.
Shut it down. This was a fun one.
Leaving.
Great catching up.
Yeah. Good luck on Tuesday if I don't talk to you before then.
Thanks, buddy.
Sure. Well,
All right.
later, man.
See ya.